Howdy, I'm Bob Terry, and welcome to another free episode of the Shotgun Slade television show, brought to you here on the internet by Wild West Toys. You can shop with Wild West Toys online at www.toyguntown.com. You know, Shotgun Slade is a different kind of television show, and there weren't a whole lot of episodes of it, but it did spawn some toys. There were a few Shotgun Slade toys, like this Shotgun Slade rifle. It would shoot little bullets out of it, little plastic bullets. They wouldn't shoot very far, but it also shoot caps. It was a wonderful toy to buy, and it's one of the rarest and most collectible cap guns there is out there. They're very hard to find. You can see this one looks a lot like Scott Brady's rifle. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you after the show.
Coffee time. I'm expecting Emily with us. She wants to talk about a loan. Tell her I'll be right back. Start putting the money in this sack. Hurry up. Oh. Well, 9:30 on the dot. Punctuality always pays off, Sheriff. Yes, sir. Oh.
You're so darn punctual, Sam, you don't even give your coffee a chance to cool. Me? I'd rather be just a little bit late.
Well, you'd never make a banker, Walters. No, sirree. Here, take it. You shouldn't have come in, Mrs. Withers.
Sound like it came from your place, Sam. Don't anybody touch a thing.
Later, I was in Willow Ridge listening to Samuel Matson discourse on the importance of banking to a growing community. My name is Slade, private detective.
Banking is the cornerstone of culture, a framework for the future. You understand me, Slade?
I follow you, sir.
A bank is like a reservoir of water to be used in time of drought. But what good is a reservoir when the water's all gone? Answer me that.
Well, I guess you get kind of thirsty.
Exactly. See my point?
What you're trying to say is that as a banker, if you don't get the money, you just go broke, huh?
$12,000 of it. Fortunately, although the vault was open, the safe was locked. But $12,000 isn't exactly...
I know, isn't exactly hay. Neither is my fee, Mr. Matson. I want $500 in advance and $500 when the job is done.
Well, you'll have to accept 5 $100 bills, Mr. Slade. All the 5s, 10s, and 20s were taken in the robbery.
That'll do just fine. Good day, sir.
Day?
That'll be 25 cents, Mrs. Tanner. I hope it's just what you wanted. What can I do for you? Perhaps I phrased that wrongly.
No, ma'am, you phrased that just right.
In any case, perhaps Mr. Cummings had better wait on you. He's the owner of the store. Mr. Cummings?
No, wait, don't. I mean, I'll take some of those.
Those?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, I don't know. What are they?
Stays.
Stays.
Whalebone stays. You must be making a corset. This man is having trouble making up his mind what he wants, Mr. Cummings.
Well, I wouldn't say that exactly. I just stopped by for a little information.
Oh, what kind of information?
Well, Mr. Matson over at the bank told me that you were at the bank during the holdup.
I was?
Then I guess you can give me a pretty good description of the bank robber.
You a detective?
That's right. Name's Slade.
So Sam's hired himself a detective, huh? Wonder what he thinks you'll find out the sheriff don't already know.
What did the bank robber look like?
Oh, tall, lanky fellow. Wore a black mask made out of a piece of muslin.
Well, how do you know it was made out of muslin?
I run a general store, mister. We sell yard goods here.
Go on.
Well, Mrs. Withers was just going into the bank when I came up.
Mrs. Withers?
The woman who got shot.
What time was that?
About 9:30. We went in together. The masked man was scooping up the money. Teller was already dead.
Oh, what happened?
Mrs. Withers screamed. The robber must have got panicky, I guess. Anyway, he shot her down in cold blood.
Then what?
Well, he turned his gun on me, but misfired. And he hit me.
With the gun?
Yeah. Knocked me cold. When I came to, the sheriff and the others were there. That's all I know.
Oh, tell me, was the back door of the bank open when you and Mrs. Withers came in?
I didn't notice. Maybe it was.
Oh, one thing more before I go. I'd like to buy a piece of that black muslin.
Dee, get it for him.
How much do you want?
Oh, just about enough to make a mask.
We don't sell less than a yard.
Then I'll buy a yard. Hey, Mr. Matson told me that he had a beautiful girl working for him, but he didn't say how beautiful.
That'll be 50 cents.
He didn't tell me your name either.
Delilah Carr. Is there anything else, Mr. Slade?
Delilah Carr.
50 cents, please. Don't you have anything smaller?
I'd like to get it changed.
Mr. Cummings, a $100 bill.
Well, you'll have to wait.
Oh, I'll wait. How long you been working for Sourpuss there?
Mr. Cummings has helped me a lot, Mr. Slade. I'm very grateful to him.
Oh, that's just fine, but, how long you been buried here in this store?
I buried my parents 5 years ago. Mr. Cummings gave me a job and a place to stay.
That was 50 cents. $1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is 10, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100.
Smells like onions.
So?
So at least you don't keep it in a pickle barrel, Cummings. Sheriff Walters? My name's Slade. Mr. Matson hired me.
Sit down, Slade.
Thank you.
Want to order anything?
Oh, thanks, Sheriff. Say, I understand you found the mask the bandit wore outside behind the bank.
Yeah, I have it right here. Sure like to find the fellow that wore it, too. I've had a posse out for 2 days now. No trace.
Well, what makes you think he left town?
Mister, I'd know if there's any strangers still hanging around.
Who said anything about strangers? Look, Sheriff, I just bought this piece of black muslin right over there across the street in the general store. It's the same kind of cloth this mask is made out of.
You'll find that black muslin in every store in town. Ranch women around here use a lot of it.
Now, Mr. Matson left the bank at exactly 9:28. Cummings says he and Mrs. Withers entered the bank at about 9:30.
That's about right. We heard the shot that killed Mrs. Withers right after that.
But you didn't hear the shot that killed the teller, did you?
Nope, figured it must have been fired about the same time a train whistle was blown. Comes into the depot here every weekday morning, right on the dot at 9:30.
Your bank robber probably counted on that to cover the shot. But he didn't plan on Mrs. Withers and Cummings showing up. I wonder why he left his gun behind him.
Oh, he probably dropped that when he tried to open that rear door.
Sheriff. I think he got rid of it for the same reason he got rid of this mask. He didn't want to risk having it found on him. Nice to meet you, Sheriff. I'll let you know if I find anything. Well, beg your pardon.
What's the matter? Ain't this street big enough for you?
Well, it might be if you just look where you're going, mister.
Telling me I know what I'm doing?
I don't think you have any idea what you're doing, or else you wouldn't be so anxious to start a fight.
You're the one starting a fight. I'm the one that's gonna finish it. I'm gonna make you crawl, mister.
Well, anything you say.
Never saw him before. Seems to be well heeled, though.
Yeah. What if I take a look at that money, Sheriff?
Come on your feet. Up.
It's almost $100 here in 5s, 10s, and 20s. Could be some of that bank money.
Where'd you get it?
Whose business is it anyway?
I can make it my business.
It's mine. Wages. I got paid off this morning.
Where are you from?
Rode in from Grasstown. Been living with a herd for 6 months.
He's lying, Sheriff. Cummings gave him this money. Like I said, Cummings, at least you don't keep it in a pickle barrel. Here, Sheriff, take a sniff.
What is it?
Onions. Small vegetable with a big smell. Cummings knows what I'm talking about.
Now, as a matter of fact, Sheriff, this fellow did make some purchases in my store. I changed a $100 bill for him. Second one today.
Is that right?
Yeah,
What do you got against him?
I don't like his face. Any law against that?
Not unless you try to change it with a knife.
Let him go, Sheriff. Matson.
Well, got something to report?
I don't know. How well do you know your customers?
Slade, if a banker couldn't judge character, he wouldn't be in business very long.
You were almost put out of business a couple of days ago, weren't you?
Oh, by a bandit. An outlaw, a stranger from someplace else.
Well, how do you know? How do you know it wasn't somebody living right here in this town?
Well, I'd stake my reputation on it. Folks in Willow Ridge are all my friends.
Including Charlie Cummings?
You're not suggesting that Charlie would...
He's the only one alive that saw the robber. Could be he's holding something back, Mr. Matson.
I regard Charlie as if he were my own brother. We've done business together for years.
Do you owe the bank any money?
But of course he does. I hold a mortgage on his store. But what's that prove? Loaning money with good, solid collateral is a banker's business. I hold the notes of half the business people in this town.
When does the Cummings note due?
Just a minute, I'll see. Matter of fact, it's due tomorrow. $5,000 plus interest.
What if he can't pay it?
Well, I know he can't pay it.
Now listen to me. Don't renew the $5,000 mortgage you've got on Cummings' store. Tell him first thing in the morning that if he doesn't pay up that note in full, you're going to take over his business, lock, stock, and barrel.
But I wouldn't. I don't do business that way.
This isn't a banking business, Mr. Matson. We're after a criminal.
Yes, but...
Just play it my way. And I think I can clear up this case early. Now go to Cummings as soon as he opens the store in the morning. Foreclose on the loan. Threaten to throw him out in the street. I got a hunch you might get your money back. Well, here, let me help you with those.
Oh, never mind. If you want to buy something, Mr. Slade, I'll wait on you.
Thank you. As a matter of fact, I do. I'd like to have, one of those lanterns, please. Yes, I mean it. I want one. Careful. No, not that one. Next one. That's the one.
That'll be $2.
There you are. Going out to see if I can find an honest man. Cummings?
What do you want?
He bought a lantern.
A lantern? Why?
He said he wanted to go find an honest man.
Take it easy, take it easy. Don't say anything.
What are you doing here?
Well, I might ask you that very same question. Or do you usually sleep here in the store at night?
I live in the back. Mr. Cummings gave me a room.
Oh, now, how convenient.
Mr. Cummings lives in a house just outside of town.
I bet he spent a lot of time at home, too. Oh, does he happen to be here right now?
No.
Good, then I can spend more time looking for an honest man. Or woman.
I'm going to call the sheriff and have you arrested for burglary.
Go right ahead. I'll wait here for you while you get some clothes on you.
Tell me why you're here, Mr. Slade, and maybe I can help you. It's Charlie Cummings, isn't it? You suspect him in some way.
He's got some kind of a hold over you, hasn't he? You in love with him?
I hate him.
You hate him? That's strange. You know, you're a beautiful woman. I know a lot of men that would do a lot for you.
Are you one of those men?
I could be.
Then leave town and take me with you.
You make it mighty tempting, lady. But I've got a job to finish here.
Is that more important?
It could make a difference.
I'm trying to warn you in case you actually have something on Charlie. You have, haven't you?
If he had anything to do with that robbery, he must have had an accomplice, someone outside the bank to take the money.
That stranger in town today, the one that tried to pick a fight with
No,
you.
I'm afraid not, ma'am. But then you can't tell all the facts are in now, can you? Well, beautiful. Gonna see me out the front door, and we'll have to climb back out that window.
Morning, Miss Carr. Charlie. Beautiful day, isn't it?
Now, what can I do for you, Sam?
Oh, I'm here about that note of yours that the bank holds.
What about it?
Well, it's due today.
Dave, would you bring me the ledger? So it is. I guess you'll have to renew, Sam. I'm afraid I can't pay it quite yet.
Oh? Well, that's unfortunate, Charlie. Very unfortunate indeed.
What's so wrong with renewing all of a sudden?
Well, you see, Charlie, since the robbery, the bank's been short of funds. I'm forced to call in all outstanding loans.
What happens if I can't pay?
I'll have to foreclose.
You mean take my store?
Well, according to the terms of the agreement, I have a perfect legal right.
Legal rights? What have they got to do with it? I thought you were a friend. I always regarded you as a fair man, Sam. Wait till the rest of the businessmen in Willow Ridge hear this.
Can you pay it or can't you?
See what I can do.
Sorry, Mr. Carr, but, you know, business is business.
Well, we're in no hurry, Miss Carr. We're just looking around.
If you don't mind, Sam, I'd rather do business over at the bank.
Well, quit stalling, Charlie. Do you have the money?
Well, an uncle of mine died back east recently. He left me some money I was sort of hoping to keep as a cushion. Now, I don't know if it'll be enough.
Well, open the box and find out.
Well, does your uncle have an account at the Willow Ridge Bank?
I don't know how that got in there.
Well, you'd better start doing a little talking, Charlie.
Then it was true. Mr. Slade was right. I think you murdered those people.
Dave?
Who's your accomplice, Charlie? Never mind, the money talks. And your part of the loot smells of onions. And I'll bet you the rest of it's around here someplace, too. Only smelling of perfume. It's your perfume, Miss Carr. Better search your room, Sheriff.
Don't anybody move or there'll be a dead banker. Drop it, Slade. Get the guns, Charlie.
Good girl, Dee.
Sheriff, get a doctor, quick.
Oh, no. It's better this way.
It was time for me to leave Willow Ridge. In my mind was the picture of a girl who was dead because of me. If Cummings hadn't loved money enough to kill for it, things could have been a lot different for a girl named Delilah.
Hope you enjoyed this episode of Shotgun Slade, brought to you free here on the internet by Wild West Toys. Wild West Toys is the only manufacturer of American-made Western toy cap guns and has been for over a decade. Come by and see us at www.toyguntown.com. I'm Bob Terry. Hope to see you again on down the trail. Y'all have a great day. Howdy, I'm Bob Terry, and welcome to another free Western here on the internet brought to you by Wild West Toys. You can shop with Wild West Toys online at www.toyguntown.com. Get ready for another fantastic episode of Shotgun Slade starring Scott Brady. Scott Brady was in the Navy in World War II, and he was also a boxer, which probably helped him with some of his fight scenes in Shotgun Slade. Get ready for another wonderful episode, and we'll see you after the show.
I was hired the day before yesterday to deliver a package to the bank at Lodestone. $100 in expenses. Not good, not bad. I'm a detective. I take things as they come. The stage is making good time, and that's all right with me. The sooner I get this job done and head for home, the better I like it. The one thing I didn't like was traveling by coach instead of by saddle. But I had definite instructions. Could have been the value they placed on the package in the carpet bag. Up till now, the trip's been dull. The girl's pretty enough, but she's not the friendly sort. The gent sticks to his knitting and hasn't said a dozen words to either of us since we left Denver.
Yes, come in.
Mr. Thatcher?
Yes, sir.
My name's Slade, sir. I've got a little package for you here.
A package for me?
That's right. It's from Bill Wharton. He's at the Palace Hotel in Denver.
Wharton? You sure that's the name?
That's right.
Bill Wharton. Well, I've grub-staked a lot of men in my day. I can't say the name registers. I've got it. Kind of a spry old fellow with a beard?
Yes, that's right. That's him. He said it would be sort of a little surprise for you, but that it was the least that he could do after all you've done for him. You know, from the way he talked, it sounded like he'd struck it rich.
Well, old Spanish box. Say, you know, you don't see many of them these days. It's locked, isn't it? Key? You know, I feel like a kid on Christmas.
Bill Wharton had chosen me as the messenger of death. A chill went through me as though I'd been touched from the grave.
My fault.
Oh, I get it real bad every year. Spring fever. I sure wish I could go fishing.
Why don't you go?
Because the law can't take vacations. Can't get sick, can't gamble. Well, some things can't hardly be human. You stay with a job.
Marshal?
You seem to be in a mighty big hurry, mister.
My name's Slade, sir. Maybe you've heard of me.
You wouldn't be Shotgun Slade from Denver.
That's right.
I'm Fred Hadley. Meet my deputy, Harry Gardner.
Mr. Slade?
Harry?
A social visit, Mr. Slade?
Hardly, Marshal. I was supposed to deliver a package to Luke Thatcher, and
Oh, he's over in the bank. I saw him going about an hour ago. He hasn't come out.
he never will.
What are you trying to say?
He's dead. You better come over to the bank with me. The body's still in the office. Nothing's been touched. I'll fill you in on the way over. Rigged to fire the minute the box was open. Well, it's gone. It was right here on the desk. And the carpet bag, too. My shotgun was in it.
Well, now, hold everything, mister. You carry a shotgun in a carpet bag?
That's right. It's a knockdown gun. Whoever stole the box must have taken the carpet bag, too.
This kind of leaves you in the middle, don't it, Mr. Slade?
Yeah. Say, what do you know about Bill Wharton, the man who hired me?
Bill? Well, haven't seen him for years. He's been prospecting as long as I can remember. Never had any luck.
Was there anyone out to get Thatcher?
You didn't have an enemy in the world.
That you know of, you mean?
Luke Thatcher was one banker you couldn't help but like. He hated to foreclose a mortgage, loan money to saddle stiffs out of his own pocket, grub-staked every desert rat that ever hit town. He was a soft touch.
Well, I had nothing against him. I didn't want anything from him. I was here to make a delivery.
You sure did.
Grow up, will you? I never saw the man before today.
Well, that's a point that's open to argument, mister. Mr. Thatcher just got back from Denver the day before yesterday. You could have seen him there. Now, what do you say to that?
I say I was played for a fool. Someone wanted Thatcher dead, and they rigged this Spanish box to do it. They just needed somebody to deliver it. And I got elected.
Yeah, but why you?
That's what I'm going to find out. Who's that?
Marge.
So you duck into the alley, quick thinking. Well, we're in the clear now.
Don't be so sure. Until Slade's out of action, we're still living on dreams. Well, so far so good. If we could only be sure they'll hold him.
He won't talk his way out of this.
I won't stop worrying. Not until that mine's in our name. When you get close to somebody that's richer than the great bonanza, there's plenty that can go wrong.
You leave it to me.
Where are you going?
To the saloon, to listen to the talk. If they hold Slade, it's in the bag. If they turn him loose, I'll try something else. He killed Thatcher, and he's stuck with it.
Yes, I know how a thing like this can hit a town. Friends of Luke Thatcher's are bound to be suspicious. An outsider being there when he was killed.
Yeah, an outsider who brought in the murder weapon.
Looks like I got a real sucker for a client this time. Me. Marshal, turn me loose and I give you my word that I won't leave town until I got all the answers.
All right. But just to make sure, let's put it this way. I'll fix it so that you can't buy a horse or a ticket on the stage. If you got any notions about walking out, forget them. We'll keep tabs on you and you wouldn't get far.
That's fair enough. I'd do the same thing for you if I were in your boots. Meantime, you can telegraph Bill Wharton and check my story.
If he sent you here with a Spanish box, he ain't about to admit it.
Yeah, but there's more to it than Bill Wharton. Otherwise, the Spanish box wouldn't have disappeared. Chances are the real killer's still right here in town.
And if he is, he may get ideas. Like planting you next to Mr. Thatcher.
You're a mind reader, mister. I'd appreciate the loan of a gun, Marshal.
Sorry, mister. Give you every break I can, but I like my job. Good luck anyway.
Thank you.
And then the marshal came back to the bank with him.
Now, wait. You mean this stranger calmly rode into town and killed Luke?
Yes, Mr. Conroy. I was working on my books. He spoke to me.
Doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
No finer man than Luke Thatcher ever lived.
I'll always be beholden to him. He gave me a job when I was way down on my luck.
There's the man now.
Looks like murder don't bother some folks at all.
Show me, please.
You ain't thinking straight, Jess. Serving a killer. This man you telling us about, Mr. Norris?
Sure is.
Well, you sweet-talked the sheriff into turning you loose. But you ain't about to drink with us, mister. Well?
Look, I've got no quarrel with you, cowboy.
Only with old men like Thatcher, huh?
Next time I see you, draw. So help me, Tex. I'll throw you in the pokey if you don't take it easy.
Well, you're great at arresting innocent men. Letting murderers walk the street.
Since when are you the law, cowboy?
If you don't do something pretty quick, Marshal, there's going to be a lynching. Right, boys?
Listen to me. I'm wearing the star. I'll handle things my way. When I can't, you'll get notice. The marshal's right. If Luke was here, he'd say the same. Now, come on, boys. The drinks are on me.
Sorry about that, Marshal. He jumped me.
Steer clear of the saloon till things simmer down. You keep your eyes open. I'm going to get that telegram off to Denver.
Well, on the stage, he was surly, sort of mysterious. He didn't say much. But when he got here, he went straight to the bank like he couldn't wait to get the job done.
How do you like that?
Still doesn't make sense. He was with him when he died. Don't forget that.
That's right, Mr. Conroy.
Sure. But why did he go straight to the marshal? Tell him. Why didn't he skip town?
Because he's smart. If he'd run out, it'd be an admission of guilt. This way, he figures everyone will think the way you do.
Maybe so.
Slade's as free as a bird. The longer he's on the loose, the more liable he is to stumble on something.
Well, it's just a question of time before the marshal has to lock him up. When he does that, Slade's goose is cooked.
And while we wait for the marshal, someone else may get wise to the mine. Hal, you acted as if the world were full of fools, and you were the only one with any sense. There's too much at stake. You've got to do something, and you've got to do it now. Well, what's it going to be? You're afraid. You're afraid of him. He's unarmed, a target for any friend of Thatcher's, and you're scared stiff of him.
I'll show you.
I'm no closer to putting the pieces together than when I started. Because I can't find any pieces. Maybe it's because there's no apparent motive. If Bill Wharton held a grudge, Thatcher certainly didn't know about it. Every detective's bound to run into a case that just can't be solved. But I can't miss on this one. Because if I do, some upright citizen's going to drop a rope around my neck and pull it real tight. The man on the stage. If it had been the cowboy, it would have made some sense. But why should Hal Bates try to kill me? Suddenly, I felt as defenseless as a fish in a barrel. I was fair game for anyone who wanted me dead.
You'll arrest him, Marshal, or I won't be responsible for what happens. All right, now, let's all calm down.
Oh, let's string him up, Mr. Conroy, and save everybody a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Well, it's just the man we're looking for. All right, Mr. Sky'em.
Hold it, Tex, before you get cut down in the crossfire. All right, Harry, get his gun. You, Slade, step away from the door. Oh, look, everybody. I don't like what's happening any better than you do. Throwing down on old friends don't set right, but
You are good at making speeches, Marshal.
I'll have your badge by morning, so help me. All right, Harry, lock him up. Over there, Slade.
You mind telling me what the charge is, Marshal?
I'm holding you in protective custody, and I hope for your sake this town comes to its senses.
It was the longest night I'd ever spent. I didn't know when the hotheads would come storming the jail and string me up.
There's that Bates again, inciting the men, stirring up trouble. I I sure wish he'd mind his own business.
Why should Hal Bates want me dead? If I knew, I might have the answer to the Spanish box. Even if he is behind all this, how could he have gotten into Thatcher's office without me seeing him? Someone had to be watching me, waiting for me to leave the bank, ready to grab the Spanish box in my carpet bag. Who?
Oh, well, the mob's no better than its leader. They won't start anything till Conroy gets all steamed up and says so. Who's that?
It's Sam. That telegram just came from Denver.
Well, shove it out of the door. What's the talk around town, Sam?
Really ugly, Marshal. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes, or yours either, when you come right down to it. If you're smart, you're going home till they get this job done.
Harry, go back to the office with Sam. See that he keeps his mouth shut.
What does it say in the message?
Just keep that old fool from talking, you hear? Slade, just got word from Denver. Bill Wharton's dead. Murdered the day before yesterday. That's the day you left.
Murdered?
Sending the U.S. Marshal from Denver to pick you up.
What?
Right here in black and white.
Let me see that, Marshal.
Here, read it yourself.
All right, Marshal. Let's have those keys.
They're out in the office.
Stand back.
Shot him. Probably killed the marshal. He's tricky.
I hate to have to do this to you, Marshal.
Come on, what are we waiting for?
Are you all right, Marshal? Marshal! Marshal, are you all right? Marshal, he jumped me. Where is he? Took off. Let's scatter and find him.
Nothing around here, boy. Come on, let's look on the other side of town.
All I want is just 2 minutes with that joker. Just 2 short minutes. Suddenly it hit me. The missing clue. I ran into her when I left the bank. She could have lifted the Spanish box and my carpet bag. It could have been a trick, her and Bates being strangers. They got on the stage at Denver. They could have killed Bill Wharton, and it adds up. It's the first thing that does. But why? What's the motive? Oh?
What are you doing here?
Where's your friend Bates?
What do you want?
I want to know about 2 dead men, lady. Okay, yes. You know, I got a hunch you know Bates real well. What were you doing, running out on him?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't you? I'm talking about this package that Bill Wharton gave me. I see it's still unopened.
It's news to me.
Where's the other bag, the one you took from the bank? Where is it?
It's in the wardrobe.
Now, 2 men died because of this package. Must be pretty valuable. What's in it?
It's a sample of ore. Wharton struck it rich. Thatcher staked him years ago. Wharton never forgot it. With the ore is a deed to the mine in both their names.
So, With both men dead, all you had to do is tear up the old deed and file yourselves a claim, huh?
Yes. Why can't we do business together, you and I, Mr. Slade? We could split the deed right down the middle. I heard that you were fond of money.
Did you? Well, you heard right. You know, it wouldn't be hard to like you. Only it might prove fatal. I'll take it. I'm warning you. Not one sound. Stay right there, Mr. Bates. You can leave your hat on. Let's take a little walk over to the marshal's office. You two, beautiful, get your things. Come on. I testified at the trial. Hal Bates was sentenced to be hanged. Marge got life imprisonment. Well, gentlemen. Thank you very much. See anyone go wrong, especially a beautiful woman. Oh, such a waste. Well, here I am again. Another stage, another girl, and a long trip to Denver. This could be a mighty lonesome trip without conversation. So I decided, well, nothing to lose. Well, that's the way she wants it. Maybe it's all for the best.
Enjoyed Shotgun Slade, starring Scott Brady. You know, it was a pretty popular show in its time, lasted a little while, and it must have been pretty popular because it was so popular that the television show Maverick decided to make fun of it. There's an episode of Maverick that they spoof Shotgun Slade, and they make fun of this show. They also make fun of Gunsmoke and several other westerns. Thanks for joining us. We hope to see you on down the trail. If you hadn't subscribed to our channel, please do. Please hit the subscribe button, and then we'll let you know when we upload more westerns. Thank you very much. Have a great day.